Hello and welcome to another useless movie review. Reviews that bear no relation to the actual movie reviewed in any shape or form. Today's movie is ripe for butchering. It's the 2013 The Wolverine. We begin in Hugh Jackman's fevered dream of the time he spent in Japan in World War II when the atomic bomb fell. And it's at this point I'd like to talk a little bit about how Hollywood likes to present their own fevered dream about how to escape a nuclear blast. First they try to convince us that ducking and covering was the only way to survive. Then Matthew Broderick played games to avert disaster. Then they have Indiana Jones taking a beating in a fridge to escape certain doom, when only a few years before community service announcements were warning us against this jolly jape due to the number of children hiding and suffocating in fridges. And here Wolverine jumps down a well to be with Timmy and everything's just peachy. I'm not sure any of this is sound advice, but it's always good for a laugh. Now I feel myself digressing, so it's time to get back to Logan. Now Logan has just woken up to find he's back to his MILF stabbing days. And just as he's wishing he hadn't searched YouTube for MGTOW before his nighttime cheese buffet, he really wakes up from a tired dream within a dream cliche to find that the fragile photo he left out overnight to breathe on the windy mountain next to the fire and just a short distance from the wet snow should really be packed away now. So then it's time to pop down to the shops for breakfast, and so he gives a respectful nod to Yogi, who is out looking for them picnic baskets. And he enters town to find some batteries to light his fire with. Later, hearing a noise, he ventures down the mountain to find a ravaged, empty campsite, clearly missing any sign of having ever had picnic baskets, and he realizes what's happened. Yogi, however, has made one raid too many, and lies mortally wounded in the rain. Boo Boo, however, seems to have got away scot-free. So Logan puts Yogi out of his misery and goes into town to do the park ranger's job for him. Apparently, he didn't want to go out at night in the rain because it aggravated his hemorrhoids. So, having destroyed one cartoon franchise, Logan then decides to depart for Japan to really get stuck into anime. He takes advantage of the duty-free on his way and shares an Uber with a gamer girl to the city. Mistaking him for a gardener, she offers him a chance to work for her family's hotel, and he accepts. The next thing he knows, he's put to work on a prized bonsai. Soon, having done nothing but forced to sit through a lecture on how shoes should be used, he's immediately rushed off to be shown his love interest. She is a mere stumbling nail manicurist by day and, well, a nail manicurist by night as well. And she's introduced by her sister, the gamer girl Logan shared a cab with a short time and a lecture ago. Next, Logan is led through a poorly designed maze and is met in the centre by a couple of Japanese scrubbers, who proceed to batter him into some form of cleanliness. He's then treated to a showing of the first ever Japanese virtual reality experiment from the Sony dynasty. Lovely. Later, while he's being taken to his room, he notices the hotel manager who's explaining to his love interest that he knows her as well as the back of his hand. After a good night's sleep, Logan is out visiting landmarks when he meets some fairly persistent travel guides. But soon it seems he's lost them. You could say, lost in train station. No, lost in translate, never mind. Anyway, later on the train they realise there's been some sort of mix-up with their seat allocations and so have to talk loudly across the carriage, apparently. And it's not long after the buffet that Logan gets that certain feeling only a gaijin can after eating the local cuisine, and he avails himself of the train's amenities. To add insult to injury, the local travel guides have found him once again, and after some delicate negotiating, he's off to report a new hole in the train. At their stop, Logan is beginning to feel he just might have dysentery, which is bloody shit. So he heads downtown as quickly as he can with his girlfriend to rent a room with a toilet. Failing to describe what a room looks like, his girlfriend steps in and explains while the landlady abuses her pussy. Somehow though, some more travel guides have found them. and so it's time to escape and do some sightseeing of their own. It's not long before they are sharing a meal and getting serious. In the morning, Logan has a shave and works off the night's frustration by killing a tree. They continue the day by playing a game of hide and seek, but his new girlfriend just can't quite understand the subtleties of counting while staying in one spot, and it's not long before she finds him. That night she asks him, "Logan, you for coffee?" To which he explains he'd rather stay over, really, because it's raining, and could he please have some tea? They kiss and go to bed. Next morning, Logan wakes up alone and runs out of the house to find his girlfriend has been abducted by the manager's goons because she's late for her shift. Unfortunately, Logan can't keep up because yesterday he cut himself shaving, which is why he's been limping. So he takes a local taxi to get her back. It's not long before she's brought back to the hotel and the manager at last admits he does not know her like the back of his hand, and how would she like to see his new letter opener? To which she says no thanks. Luckily, her brother is the head of the local ninjas and she is saved, or so she thinks. When Logan gets back to the hotel, he finds her brother was a baddie all along, so he steals a bike to chase them down. Logan takes a trip through the snow to the small town his girlfriend's been taken to, and it's here that Logan confronts her brother. Along with his ninja buddies, the brother tries to convince him to try out for the Japanese sled pulling trials, but Logan politely declines. So now, in true Japanese style, it's down to being forced to battle a giant robot for his girlfriend's affections. And he finds out her father was in the robot all along, forcing him to fight for the honour to go out with his daughter. Who would have thunk? So Logan chucks him over a cliff for being so presumptuous, and another fledgling anime is over before it's begun. A little time later, he says goodbye to his girlfriend, explaining a long-distance relationship just won't work, and gets on a plane to the States. And hooks up with her sister. So after ruining Yogi Bear and a robot anime, she asks him what's next, and he replies with a smile that I feel like ruining something live action. How about Star Wars? Too late, she says. Disney already did that.